Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. So, the wife and I not often, but in the past, we've had a few conversations about happiness versus contentment. She has the proper outlook on it. Contentment is a long-term feeling of it's very difficult for me to define it. So I went to the internet, and happiness is usually more intense and temporary. Contentment is quieter, steadier, and more internal. It's calm. It's a calm sense of being. I think the reason I have a problem kind of distinguishing between the two definitions is a lot of times I'm happy. My disposition leans in that direction. I tend to not be sad. I tend to try and find reasons to smile. And I try to find reasons to make other people smile as well. It's hard for me to grasp that people can go weeks without smiling. I don't think I can go hours without smiling. I really enjoy life, and it's not something I've ever had to work at. When people tell me that they're not happy, but they're content, it confuses me. I went to bed thinking about this last night, and it kept me up for a good bit of the evening, kept me awake. And I was really trying to discern as to whether I was content or not. And the truth is, I am. I'm a very content person. I really have found a peaceful existence within the world and within those environments surrounding me. I'm also genuinely happy. I kind of enjoy life. It's very strange to hear someone say that they're not happy to me. Right off the bat, what I want to do when someone says they're not happy is, okay, how do we fix this? I need to stop that, because just because someone's not happy doesn't mean I need to fix them. Sometimes people are content while not being happy, and I understand that. I don't think you can be content if you're miserable, though. You kind of have misery and then a neutral area, kind of gray, and then you have that happiness, that feeling of joy, that momentary feeling of euphoria. I see that it's very gray on that level as well. Just because you're happy doesn't mean you're euphoric, but I think euphoria is part of being happy. You can be mildly joyful. I have gotten to work and thought about the day and smiled. Was I happy? I think I was. Was I euphoric? No, I'm just happy to be where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to the day. It's something that it baffles me, the idea that people don't strive to be happy. I think I'm a little too old now to stop trying to make people smile. It's really just kind of built into me. It always has been. I think that's just my personality. I want people around me to be happy. I definitely want them to be content. And I think it is definitely something to strive for. I'm wondering how many people actually are content. Every day, I ask my wife to rate my podcast. She listens. It's one of her responsibilities. It's why she married me, so she could listen to my podcast. It's not true. I think she does it because she's genuinely interested in finding out where I'm at, how my day is going. And I ask her, and she rates it. And yesterday, she gave me a very high rating, quite possibly the highest out of all my podcasts, over 300. She has told me that yesterday was the best because I didn't stumble over the words. I didn't have any huge breaks within my thoughts. And that's true. Today, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit because, like I said, I'm very baffled by the idea that someone is content without being happy. I'm standing here looking in on that thought. Am I ever content where I'm not happy? The answer is yes. The answer is definitely yes. I constantly am content. So this is becoming something more clear to me as I'm talking about it. And I am definitely a content person. And I have conflated those two terms. Contentment and happiness are not the same thing. A lot of my days, I am very happy. A lot of my moments, in my days, I'm very happy. For the most part, I'm very content throughout my life. I'm wondering if if seeking contentment when you're not content creates an individual who reaches for more in life. Because I'm gonna be honest here. I've lived in, well, hell, I've been homeless. I've lived in a single wide. I've lived in some very, very meager places, and I was always content. Now, when my wife came into my life and she became a priority of my life, that contentment kind of went away, and I had to strive for more so that I could provide for more for her. My peace of mind was not where I wanted it to be because I wanted better for her. So my contentment left me until I reached a level where I thought she was content and at least able to survive my presence. It is a very strange thing to consider and be introspective about contentment and happiness and joyfulness. Thinking about it is not something that I have done in the past. When I've been depressed, I've gone very, very deep into myself to figure out why I'm depressed. But to be content, to ask yourself, why am I content? And I think that may be because when we are content, we kind of look at it as a fragile state of mind, and we don't want to disrupt it. We don't want to reach out and touch it and, disrupt our contentment. So if we look at it too hard, if we examine it too much, if we turn it and look at it from this angle or that angle, perhaps we're afraid that what's going to happen is we're going to break it and lose our contentment. And I'm doing that now in my mind, and there's no way I'm going to break my contentment. It is strong. I want to say that it is super strong, steel strong, but I know that would be a lie because it is fragile. One tragedy away from being gone. But looking back on my life, even when I was very depressed, that contentment, even though I wasn't experiencing it, it was within grasp. It was there for the taking. Am I a content person? Very. I am very content with my life. Am I a happy person? Yeah, mostly I have those happy moments throughout my day. I can draw on the memories of my past and the good memories, and I can find happiness in those, and that can make me happy. So the happy moments I experience through the day are not even reliant on what is happening in that very moment. I can be driving and I can think back to a party that I attended that was a 70s party and had a glorious good time. And that brings me happiness. And some of the people at that party I'm not even in contact with anymore. Some of those people are family that I'm not in contact anymore. But the party, the memory of that day can bring me happiness in this moment. Are you happy? Do you have enough happy moments in your day? And perhaps more importantly, are you content? If you're not content, what's the plan? What are you going to do about it? If you're not going through life content, does that mean there's something in your life that needs to change? Certainly, you don't have to be happy to be content. I suppose you don't have to be content to have moments of happiness, but I think that the two are very closely connected. I think if you never experience happiness, if you live a joyless life, I don't think you can be content. But if you live a life with at least wisps of joy, I think you can find contentment. The birds are whistling in the yard. Spring is upon us. This weekend we are going to spring ahead. We are going to set all of our clocks ahead. For most of us now, that means we set our microwave and our stove forward. Every other time device that I have, every clock, every watch, the computers, my TV, every other thing that I have that has the time displayed on it, auto sets. If it wasn't for the stove and the microwave, I might not know that we are going to spring ahead. And that actually kind of makes me chuckle a little bit as well, because there have been times in the past, I'm 61, I've got a lot of years working now, but there have been times in the past where I have not set my clocks forward and been late for work. I say a lot, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 times. Ironically, it seems like during the fall, back when we had to set our clocks back and the alarms were dependent upon that, I went to work probably 4 or 5 times an hour early because I forgot to set the clocks back. It is the weekend, and we are going to lose an hour of sleep on Sunday. I would remind you to set your clocks ahead, but I mean, let's face it. What I'm really saying is, don't forget to set the microwave and the stove clocks ahead this weekend. I am a content guy, but I'm curious if you are content. And if you're not content, what are you doing to change that? Now that I understand in myself and in others that there's a difference between happiness and contentment, thank you, Em, I'm curious about it. I want to know more about it. I want to know what this weekend holds. I hope that you're content. I hope that you find sporadic moments of happiness. I hope that this weekend you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, Lahi Throat.